Hello, and welcome to another video from thefanpub.com. I've got Sean with me again.
Hey, welcome back, Al.
Today we're going to be talking about auction leagues and how they differ to
Just had one last night, didn't we?
Yeah, we just done one actually, yeah. Great fun. They're totally different. The thing about auction leagues is you can actually buy any player or players you want.
Yeah.
If you've got the money.
Yeah, there's no hiding. There's no hiding in auction leagues. I think this is one of the interesting things in an auction league, isn't it? As you say, everybody you can theoretically buy, but obviously you're limited by how much money you have. It's generally standard that you have about $200. Is generally
you get about $200. You've got to build your team with that money. So some people go mad at the start by Ezekiel Elliott.
I think the rules in auction leagues become very important to look at the little details. Last night's auction league was very unique because. And I think we can be very open about this. This is what we noticed is, I think we were both onto this. We only talked about it after the draft, which was very funny. I said to you, did you realise up until a couple of days beforehand that there was 3 running backs potentially up for stake until Richard, who was running the league, changed it? And I was I was all over this because I'm thinking in my own mind, I was thinking I've got one on Al here. I'm thinking I've got this information in the bag, and then Richard changed it 48 hours before the league drafted. So all my strategy, and I'm thinking, I wonder if Al noticed. And I spoke to him afterwards, and he goes, "Yeah, I was all aware of it." Oh God! Yeah. But we noticed last night that some people weren't aware of one thing that the commissioner left, which was that there were 10 bench spots, and some people didn't realise this, so burnt out their budget fairly early, leaving them with the dregs. Not necessarily bad, but not necessarily good.
Yeah, so there's lots of strategies, but basically it differs because you can bid on any player.
Yeah, absolutely.
It works like any auction does. The highest bidder takes a player.
And there's lots of different strategies you can try. You can go, in a normal auction league, you could target 3 or 4 main players that you really want and go after them and get them, and then just build, $1 players.
It's all like David Johnson's going to cost you a third of your budget or more.
He went for about 70 last night.
Yeah, and you get 200, so you've only got 130 left.
But interestingly, that particular owner took him and Le'Veon Bell, and built a team around that, which was very good. That was the guy from Spain, David. He did a really good job, actually. I really like his team, actually. We'll give him a big shout out there. It was a really good team.
But he's sort of padded the rest of his team out because he spent on the team.
Yeah, the rest of his team, there are questions. I mean, they're still good players, but it's like anything. You can't have everything in this format. I think we both took different approaches.
Yeah, you could either go for a value, so if everyone's going for a price.
I kind of thought about it in terms of there were certain players I absolutely wanted to have, and I got those. And there were certain players that I thought if I left enough money behind, I could scoop up. It's really difficult. They always say, most people say in auction, they try to not leave any money left behind, but it's really difficult. Really
Again,
tough.
like most of these, you can create a cheat sheet, which is called, I think it's called a fantasy auction calculator. Fantasy Pros do one. You can put the number of teams in and the budget, and it'll tell you, how much each player should be worth. But
you have to be a bit cautious with this.
But if you normally find with any auction, they go for a bit more than what the calculator says. So don't be afraid to bid a few more. Don't go mad. But if you like a player, sometimes you're going to have to be.
We always say,
if
you like them, give them 3 or 4 more max, and then that's it.
Because otherwise, you'll just be sat there waiting, and you'll have a load of money left and no good players.
There's no point missing out on a David Johnson if you're really keen to get him. And last night 70 was a lot, but you were in the same. You're in that race, and you thought I'm prepared to go to 71. Then put the bid in. If it goes to 72, just pull out. That's just how you have to look at it.
Yeah. So.
For me, it was all too rich. Once it went past about 60, it was getting too much blood for me. I couldn't handle that. But that's the fun thing about auction leagues. The other thing that you sometimes see is a thing called average auction value. That's I think AAV they use.
Yeah, they normally have that on the site. It'll tell you what their price normally is.
And we always say give it about 10% more, don't we? Roughly than the value.
But you can double check it with a fancy calculator because some of them are wildly different.
Very different.
Some people will be wildly inflated where they shouldn't be.
Another thing I like to use in auction drafts is a little tip I like to do. I like to see how many players are playing. So very simply, last night we had 10. I knew that there was $200 for each team, so I knew there were $2,000 out there total. This is important because once you know that in your head and you're looking at how people are spending it, and there's a little calculation at the side, you can see how teams are going down. You can work out what's left out there, giving you a huge advantage as you reach the sort of middle and later rounds if you want to control things, which I like doing, actually. I like having a bit of control when I want to pick up certain players that haven't been put up for auction yet, which was useful. I managed to stay. I was lucky, actually. A few things went through in my advantage, but I've got a strong overall team. I wouldn't necessarily say I've got fantastic starters. I'd say that there's some very good players, but it's a good team all round.
So basically, loads of people get injuries.
Yeah, no, it's a good team all round. I mean, I've got good depth all across the world. I've got players like Devontae Adams, Jarvis Landry.
The each week if you like.
I've got Tom Brady and Gronk, so there's some nice. If Gronk stays healthy, big question mark. But it's you're never going to argue with Tom Brady.
But the good thing about this is, literally, you don't have to wait to see who falls for you like you do in a snake.
No,
because some of the players will be gone. I mean, if you're pick 10, you're not going to have any chance to get the top 3 running backs, or or Antonio Brown, whoever you might want. But in this,
it doesn't matter.
It's an open book. You can actually go and target whoever you want, whatever players you like.
I think it's worth mentioning. The thing that becomes interesting, questions often get asked about this is what kind of players should I nominate? And I always say to people that pretty simply, nominate the players that personally you don't mind getting for $1.
Or nominate players. If you're bidding against people who've got money, obviously you want to get rid of their money, and it gives you more chance of getting the player. So nominate people you don't like, but like let's say if it's Alshon Jeffrey that goes for a bit of money.
Talk to us about last night then, very quickly. So, who were you nominating last night? Just for curiosity, what kind of players were you nominating? Just for this.
What I tend to do is put up players I don't really like, but I know they'll go for money.
Yeah.
I think they're not worth the value they're going for. So,
give us one example, just one play.
Alshon Jeffrey was one.
Yeah, that was a good. That created a bidding war, didn't it? That did create a good bidding war. And what Al's highlight is really good because I did a similar thing.
Des Bryant, I don't really like for this year.
I kind of kept putting quarterbacks out for a little while, just because I had a good one. I had Tom Brady, so I put a couple of quarterbacks out. I got Carson Wentz for $1, which obviously I didn't want, but I knew at that stage when I got him that people have all got their quarterbacks and they'd run out of steam with them. So then I could start nominating other players.
Yeah, so there's lots of tactics. It's really good fun. I mean, don't be afraid to try it. You can use these fantasy calculators for an example of what they'll go for. But don't be afraid to bid a bit more, because I think that's a rookie mistake you can make. You just sit there like not a rabbit headlights, not because they've gone over the value it says. So
and vary up. I kind of think it's a little bit.
Get involved, but
also,
the players you like though.
Try not to. One of the things you're very good at, I'm not so good at this, so you have to play to your strengths a little bit. Is you're quite good at. It would appear to me to be bidding on players that you don't necessarily want to force the price up. I tend to. You're a very good poker player, I think. Whereas me, I get locked with that player. So if I start playing that game, I end up getting. Yeah,
you've got to know when to hold them and fold them. Yeah. So you've got to pretend like you want somebody sometimes to bid the price up, because every penny, every dollar you get off anybody else is a dollar they can't use to bid on you.
Yes, absolutely
against you. So it's a game of cat and mouse. It's really good fun. It's pretty simple. You have 200. Once you spent, you could be paying dollar people at the end, but that's just the way it goes. So have fun with it. That's
definitely good format.
If you like the video, please smash the thumbs up and consider subscribing. And thanks very much for listening.
Take care.